This is Trey Alvey with your 28storms.com Wednesday evening update, and we have a lot to talk about, so we'll get right back down to it. Taking a look at our latest watches and warnings, you can see we have winter storm warnings across northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and even up and towards the metro Memphis area. And then we have winter storm advisories across much of these other areas up into the Appalachians and extending back into Arkansas and over into northern Louisiana. Taking a look at the latest radar loop, most of our precipitation is currently extending from Kentucky down through Tennessee into northern Mississippi and into Louisiana. And currently the rain-snow line is located near I-20, right near the Jackson area, with areas north of this line receiving mostly snow and areas south reporting mostly rain right now. However, some of these areas further south can expect a changeover as the evening progresses. The latest surface map also shows the similar picture, with snow falling across much of southern Arkansas and northern Mississippi and into northwestern Alabama. And the snow is indicated by these little asterisks that you can see right there. And we expect this to generally push eastward as the evening progresses, though the precipitation shield will start to weaken some in the night hours. The visible satellite imagery also shows where we have our strongest precipitation right now, and that would be located mostly from Tennessee, extending down into northern and central Mississippi. Generally, central Mississippi is where the highest precipitation rates have been noted, and you can definitely see that right in here. Taking a look at the latest model runs, this is the NAM 18Z precipitation totals for 24 hours. And this shows generally the highest totals expected in central Mississippi, into northern Mississippi, and over into central Alabama, and points further south. And areas further north, it shows the precipitation really weakening up into here. Now, we do expect this to be the case. However, we also believe the model is overdoing this quite a bit, as precipitation should still be falling in this area a little bit more than what this model is currently depicting. Now, taking a look at the latest RUC, it shows a very similar story to the recent NAM that we just showed, and this gives us more reason to believe that the models are definitely on to something. However, looking at radar trends, once again, we do believe there will be a little bit more precipitation here than the model is showing. And finally, a look at the SREF, and this model has generally been running too low on precipitation totals, shown right here, showing only 2 to 3, maybe even up to 4-inch totals in the Delta region. However, higher totals have been observed in some of these areas over eastern Arkansas than what the model has shown. So therefore, we expect higher totals further east, probably more on the range of 2 to 3 inches rather than the 1 to 2 inches that the model is showing. Here's a quick look at the RUC 0Z sounding for Birmingham, Alabama, and as you can see in the -10 to -20 degrees Celsius region, this is where we typically look for snow growth, and it is saturated, so that's a very good sign for getting initial snow formation. Now, as you follow the temperature, it's still saturated and still below freezing all the way up until near the surface. However, we also have a bit of an inversion here, and we also have a temperature dew point spread, which will allow for some evaporative cooling and dynamic cooling from above in this very cold column aloft. So while temperatures are currently well above freezing in parts of northern Alabama, such as Birmingham, we do expect the onset of nightfall to allow for some cooling. In addition, the dynamical cooling that we discussed previously will allow for temperatures to cool as precipitation begins. And taking a look at the Jackson surface observations, we can see that At the onset of precipitation, the temperature was around 47, 46 degrees, and when that precipitation began to fall, it really began to drop and eventually changed to snow within just a couple hours. And keep in mind, this was even with light precipitation, not heavy precipitation. So the potential is definitely still there for snow in northern Alabama, particularly north of the I-20 corridor. Areas south of that region can still expect a mix and possibly some accumulations, though the threat is much less. And that wraps it up for our 28storms.com evening update. As always, stay tuned to 28storms.com for your latest weather information.